Hey gamers, I am CyberSnack7. Hope we're all well. Back again with another video. And no, this video is not going to be about Tekken 3 that's on in the background. But I've just had a bit of a Tekken kick over the last couple of weeks. So I just thought I'd get out the Tekken 3 box set, which you got with the original DualShock pad. And I bought this in Japan many years ago. Never used the pad. The pad is still minty fresh in the box. But the game's been played plenty. So nice to get that back out. And definitely one of my favourites in the Tekken series without doubt. So really enjoying Tekken 3 at the moment. But as it says, this is not about Tekken. This is all about the penultimate video for my Hit Squad collection. Now, of course, I went back and checked the last time I did an update. And amazingly, it was over 3 years ago since I've done an update on this collection. 3 years has just gone like, I just don't know where it's gone. So obviously you've seen in the thumbnail where this is going to end, which is like I think most people who collect for the Hit Squad, especially for the Commodore 64, it always ends with one game. But regardless, I just want to get this video out, get you and myself up to date with this collection, of course. So I've got a fair few still to go through, and we'll obviously have sectioned them out for the movies, the sports and the arcade, but we'll start with these three. Now, the last update I did pick up this one, which is the Fun School 2, and this is for the over 8s. So I did pick that one up, but obviously I was missing the other two. So, of course, I have Fun School 2 for the under 6s, and this is a really nice condition. These have become, ever since I've got these, have become pretty difficult to come across, to be fair. But as I say, this one's in minty condition. Very happy to have that one. And then the final one is the Fun School 2 for 6 to 8 years. And there you go, all minty fresh, and very happy to own that one at last. So that is now all the Fun School collection complete. One of the few is like side collections within the Hit Squad collection that haven't got obviously the numbers, or they're not categorized, but still very happy to have those three. So that's the Fun School collection done and dusted out the way. Now we've got obviously a couple of movie games to finish off the collection, sports games to finish off the collection, and then a few arcade to finish off the collections. So we'll start with the movies. No, we won't start with the movies. We'll do that one last, because there's a purpose to that, why I'm going to start with that one last. Right, so we'll start with the sports, I think. So we'll start with the sports, yes. Now this one eluded me for quite a while. And when I got it, I was looking forward to playing it, and it wasn't the greatest game at all. But this was one of the expensive ones, weirdly. And this is Skate Wars. This one is Sports 13. And I thought this was going to be a much better game than it was, and it's kind of like it looked like, to me, it's like a football game on skates. I haven't played this, I'm going to be totally truthful with you. I've tested it, worked perfectly, but I really just didn't sit there and play. I just wanted to test it and make sure it worked. But yeah, this surprisingly, it's cost me about £60, I think. £60, and was it worth it? Well, maybe not, but still, one I needed in a collection, and that is Skate Wars. Obviously you've got to do these sort of things when you're collecting for a full set, and thankfully there isn't that many in this collection. But regardless, there you go, that is Skate Wars. That's Sports 13. So very happy to own that one at last, regardless of the price. Now another one, this is Sports 21, and this one supposed to, when I first started looking for it, it was quite difficult, and then all of a sudden it just come up 2 to 3 at a time, and the price wasn't that bad. But this is RBI Baseball, and as I say, this is Sports 21. Not a bad little baseball game, actually. I really do like the baseball games on the C64. I always used to play the World Series Baseball. That one, I love that one. But this one is not bad at all. Very good game. And I did actually play this one, because I do like my baseball games. But yeah, very happy to have this one, and in lovely condition, as you can see. So that one is Sports 21, and that is the RBI Baseball. Now, to complete the set, of course, for the sports, this is Sports 23. And this one was definitely the second hardest one to find, without question. I've waited and waited for this one, and it very rarely come up on eBay at all, and I don't think I've ever seen it since, to be fair, because I still look through, of course, my save searches for these games. But this one was a doozy. It really was hard to find, but eventually I got one, and it wasn't cheap, put it that way. But this is WWF European Rampage. This is obviously the second one in the wrestling games that actually come out in this collection. But this one is an absolute pain in the bum to find, honestly. This was so difficult. Not a bad little wrestling game, to be fair, but definitely one of the rarer ones, without question. But took me months to find this one. Just, as I say, patience is a virtue with these things. But yeah, absolutely happy to put this in the collection. The WWF European Rampage, beautiful condition, and that's Sports 23, and that is my sports collection complete, done and dusted. So the next collection of the series in there was the arcade games. Now, the second hardest game to find, without question. This took the longest to get my hands on. Outbid so many times on this game. It's unbelievable. But this one is Sports 55, and this one is Stun Runner. Stun Runner has been the thorn in my side in this entire collection, apart from one other game, of course. But boy, this was so difficult to get. It's been on eBay a few times, but I was outbid every single time, and it's such a difficult game to get hold of. But very, very happy to have this at last. And to be fair, it isn't the greatest game in the world either to be played, honestly. But still, such a difficult game to find. Unbelievably hard to find this one was, or to literally win a copy of on eBay. But I got there in the end, and this one was a bit pricey game. This one was, again, about £80, I think this one I paid for. But I waited so long for it, I just wanted to get the game in the collection, so I just paid the price. But that's me all over. But regardless, at last I have this copy in my collection, and that is, of course, Stun Runner, and that's Sports 55. Sorry, is that Sports 55? Did I say Sports? Arcade 55. Let's get that right. So there's Arcade 55, Stun Runner. The next one, this one come up quite regular, to be fair, and I didn't pay the earth for this one. I think this is about £30, £35, something like that. But this one is Arcade 60. And this is Skull and Crossbones. And this one is like, why they put it in an arcade? I'd a bit more of an adventure, to be fair. But this is like a pirate adventure. Not played this one. I'm not going to deny that. I've not played it. But I've tested it, of course, and it works perfectly fine. But this one was a nice little addition. I thought I'd have more trouble finding this, but obviously didn't. So very happy to pick this up for the price that I did. But beautiful condition, of course. And that is another arcade game to the collection, and that is Arcade 60, and that is Skull and Crossbones. And then finally, the final arcade game to the arcade collection, and this is Arcade 52, and that is, of course, Kallax. Not a bad little arcade game, good conversion on the C64. Never been a fan of this game. I played it a few times. But it's just basically like a Tetris sort of thing. Blocks come down, you've got to match the colours. That's all it is, really, to be fair. But not a bad little title. Quite easy to find and pick up, that one was, to be fair, and got it for a decent price. So there is the final game in the arcade series. So that's the arcade series done and dusted. And then we come to, of course, the movie collection. Now, the movie collection is, of course, going to be the bane of my collection, as you know in the thumbnail. So we'll start with the final two games, and we'll start with, of course, this is Movie 23. Now, this game I played many moons ago, and obviously I couldn't get my head around it when I first played it, like when it first came out. It's a platform game. But the game is as strange as the movie, because the movie is a kind of a weird movie anyway. And I really couldn't get my head around how to play this game. I still can't today. But that game we're talking about is Nightbreed. Now, this game is a pretty weird game anyway, and the movie is to match because the movie is absolutely just bonkers, to be fair. But when I first played this many years ago, I couldn't get my head around how the mechanics worked in this game, how to progress, and I still haven't been able to work it out. But it's a platform game, but I think the premise of this is you've got to work your way down into the depths, and the further you go down, the more bosses and you progress that way. But trying to get down there, forget it. It's a ridiculously hard game anyway. It's one of these, you die and you start back at the beginning kind of games. So this game is not going to get played regularly, I can tell you that much. But still, not a hard game to come across on eBay. But it still took me a couple of months to get it. But thankfully, in the collection at last. And a very strange game, just like the movie. And that is Movies 23. That is Nightbreed. Now, the final one. This one, definitely the most expensive game of my set that I've got, without question. Good little platform game. Really quite enjoyed playing this. And that is Movies 30. And this is The Mighty Hook. Now, this one is definitely the most expensive game I bought within the collection itself. It's £200 on the nose. This was silly money, but it's what you got to do. And to be fair, I would never want to pay over £200 for any one of these games, and I think that is my limit. I'd pay for one of these games now. I don't think I'd want to pay over it. That is my limit, full stop. But still, paid it, got it, and thankfully worked perfectly, and I quite enjoy this game. It's a nice little platform game. Really is quite a good game. But that is, of course, not the final game in the movie collection, because no, I haven't got it. You know what it is, I know what it is. Lethal Weapon. Yes, it's going to be the bane of my life. 3 years, I've seen it twice, and it's just silly money, and I just won't bring myself to pay that amount of money that people are asking for it. And it's a shame, really, because it's a collection I'd love to finish off. I'd love to say, yeah, that is fully complete. But people are asking silly money for it, and I just won't pay. That, for Hook, was my limit. I wouldn't pay over anything over that kind of money for any Commodore game ever. But as I say, it's a shame. It's a game I'd love in the collection to really finish the collection off and say it's complete. But unfortunately, unless people stop collecting them, people can't be asked to obviously keep them anymore, and they want to get rid of them for a reasonable price, then I'm all in, and I'll pick myself up a copy. But until that day, I think it's a game that's going to elude my collection, unfortunately. And many collectors have literally got rid of their collections due to the fact that they know they're never going to get that game. But I'm never going to get rid of it. I put hours and sweat and tears into collecting this, and I've got it, and I love the collection that I've got. And it's just unfortunate that one game is going to be eluding me, possibly forever. I don't know. Maybe in the future I might come across one absolutely like by chance, but we'll never, we'll see in the future. We'll see in the future. But the collection doesn't end there. It doesn't end on a bad note, because we do have 4 more games I need to show you. And these are another side collection for the Hit Squad collection, of course, and that is they sold 1 million. So there was 3 initial collections that come out for the sold 1 million. Sold 1 million 1, sold 1 million 2, and sold 1 million 3. But firstly, this is the original they sold 1 million, which is this one. Now, of course, you've got Stafford Canaf, you've got Decathlon, you have Jet Set Willie, and you have Beachhead on this one. So they all come with the tags, of course, perfectly working. Good little collection of games. Really do like the Sold 1 Million. I bought these originally many years ago. So this is the second time I bought this, of course, to add to the Hit Squad collection. But really happy to have this one. Now, the next one is the rarer one. and it's also, they sold 1 million. But this one is so difficult to come across. And I only found out about this by pure chance, by watching, obviously, other collectors' videos. Now, this one is they sold 1 million, but this is a different variant, and this does not come up very often. And I landed on my feet, seen it, bought it, and got it for really quite cheap, to be fair. And very, very happy to have this one. And this, they sold 1 million. But if you notice, there's something slightly different about this. Of course, we have Stafford Canaf, we have Decathlon, we have Jet Set Willy, but on here we have Spy Hunter. Here's the original, and there is the variant with Spy Hunter on instead of the Beachhead. So I'm really happy to get this, and I never knew this existed until I seen it on somebody's collection video for the Hit Squad. So as soon as I seen this, I thought, I've got to try and hunt that down. And it took me a few months, but one just popped up, and buy it now price, snapped it up, never even thought about it, and I've never seen one since. So very, very happy to add that into the collection. So got the original, got the variant, which I never knew existed, so really happy to have that. And of course the next one, this one was the hardest. Apart from that variant, this one was the hardest to find out the three. It is they sold 1 million too, with some crackers on here. Of course, we've got Bruce Lee, of course, the classic Bruce Lee. We've got Match Point, one of the, it wasn't a bad tennis game. On-court tennis is my favourite one, of course. We've got Match Day, and of course the classic Entombed. Absolutely love that game. One of my favourite. Them two are standout titles, Bruce Lee and Entombed. But this one was not an easy collection to find, weirdly, but still beautiful condition. Really, really nice. Fully loads, works perfectly, of course, but absolutely well happy to have that. And then finally, last but not least, of course, is they sold 1 million three. And this one, of course, has Rambo First Blood Part 2, Ghostbusters, Kung Fu Master, and Fighter Pilot. Probably the weakest of the four, but that's the way it goes. But still absolutely perfect condition. Loads perfectly. 3 of 4 fantastic games on there, without doubt. 3 classics. The Fighter Pilot I'm not really overly keen on, but still absolutely very, very happy to have that. And that then concludes all of my Hit Squad games, including a variant, which I never knew existed. But that's it. That is all of my Hit Squad collection up to date. Of course, minus the mighty Lethal Weapon. But that was inevitable, I think, unless I was literally going to get that game by pure chance. And, you know, I'm going to bide my time. Hopefully, in the future, I will probably get that game by pure luck or by, I don't know, any means possible. Somebody out there might have it and they might do it for original price for me. But if not, then so be it. I'll live with the fact that, like, I'm going to be missing a game. But regardless, still absolutely loved collecting for this Hit Squad collection. Took my time about it, and took my time to get this video up 3 years later with the final penultimate update for the system. I can't believe it took me 3 years to do this. I can't answer that. I can't give you any answers why. I just totally forgot, to be fair. But still great to have done it at last. Collection's fully up to date, apart from minus Lethal Weapon. But regardless, I don't care. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, then I'm just going to have to take it on the chin, way it is. But anyway, there it is. That's my full set of Hit Squad collection, apart from, of course, Lethal Weapon. But never mind. But enjoyed collecting for it. Maybe in the future we'll see a copy of Lethal Weapon to add and make it the full collection. But we will see in the future. But regardless, all done, all dusted. Very happy to have that collection where it is today. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with my videos. It's good to be getting some regular content up again. As I say, last year was a bit of a washout for me, so I'm trying to get as much content up as I can, and then get back into the spirit of things. As I say, I've had a good couple of videos up this year so far. Response has been great. fantastic that people are still sticking with me, watching my videos, commenting on my videos. Can't say thank you enough for that. It's been, well, it's always a pleasure to have people watch my content and enjoy it. So plenty more to come this year, I do promise you that. But as I say, it's, you know, work in progress. But this channel will continue as per usual. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing. And remember, always keep watching. All the best.